Li Chao continues to lead the Reykjavik Open 2014. He was on top board. He beat Rapport. In this game, the Chinese GM continues his great run in the tournament. He convincingly outplayed Rapport with white pieces. He now leads with 8 out of 9. Following him are 3 players with half a point behind. The game against Rapport started d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, h3. It's a King Indian classic with early deviations on move 6, move 5, move 6, h3. The game continued. Black castled. Chao played knight f3. Rapport played knight a6. Bishop e3. e5, d5, knight h5. Normally, you expect black to play knight c5 in this version, but he didn't play that. He played knight h5. The game continued. A3. Rapport played c6. One game in the database continued queen e8 instead of c6, b4, f5, and this game was Schmied versus Matthiesen in 2012. This game will be in the description, so you can have a look at that one. The game ended in a draw. Our actual game, the game continued c6. White played b4. Black has got a crammed position. The knight on a6 looks out of play. He still needs to develop his bishop on c8 and move the queen and coordinate, link the rooks. In this position, Black played a new move, c5. Previously played was c takes d5, c takes d5, f5, rook c1, bishop d7, knight b5, pawn takes e4, knight d2. This game was Lysyj versus Novikov in 2008 in Belgorod. This is one of the reference games as well. The game is in the description. So Black played a new move, c5 instead of pawn takes d5. Chao played knight d2. One option was, let's say, rook b1, knight f4, with a slight advantage to white, but he played knight d2. Not fearing losing the pawn on b4, because the pawn on a7 is attacked by the rook and the bishop on e3. So Black defended the pawn on c5, and White played rook b1, processing the pawn on b4. Game continued bishop d7, and White played g3, covering the f4 so that the knight doesn't go on f4. Black could have played queen e7, but he played bishop e8. White continues gaining more space on the queen side by playing b5, and knight move to c7. So black still has got a current position. The knight is not in an ideal position. Defending your bishop e2, attacking the knight on h5, and black played f5. Black goes for then white played e takes, then black played knight f4. One tempting move would have been rook f5. But white would still gain advantage by playing f4, knight takes, f4, g takes, and then a crazy variation would be like knight g2, check, king f1, knight takes e3, and pawn takes. But it will white will still win because you can play moves like rook h5 and all that fancy play. Black isn't got enough pieces to mate the white king. So black played knight f4 because the knight on c3 is hanging. White took the knight on f4, and then e takes, bishop takes, rook takes f4 is attacking the bishop on f4, and the knight on c3 is hanging as well. White played bishop g3, black took back piece with bishop c3, white castled. He tries to activate the knight by playing a6, attacking because the knight is out of play. Game continued, bishop g4. He took the pawn on b5. But in this, white gains material because he played knight e4, attacking the knight, bishop on c3, and the rook on f is going to be taken anyway, so it's going to win material. Black played bishop d4, but now technically white has got a big plus here. He took the rook, he took the g takes f5, he took the knight, the pawn on d6. Black played bishop g6, still, because even if he had played, let's say, like queen g5, hoping to play f4, white can answer this with queen f3, and let's say you can play bishop, but still moves like queen to f4. There's no play for black, so you play bishop g6, and white when exchange the knights by playing knight takes b5, knight takes b5, rook takes b5, hanging pawn on d6. He's got a passed pawn on d5. Black plays rook takes a3. White plays rook b3. Black could have played here queen, rook takes, queen takes, and then queen g5, threatening bishop pawn to f4. Much better than what he played. He played rook bishop to h5, One playable version was rook takes a3, bishop d1, rook d1, and queen g5. Still a big plus, with a slight advantage for white, but he went for queen takes h5, rook takes b3, king g2. One last throw was maybe for black to play queen f8, and then the same moves like in the game. Rook g1, rook takes, king takes, bishop g7 is still winning for white. So the game continued. Queen f6, queen e8 check, queen f8, queen e6, queen f6, rook g1, queen takes, pawn takes. There's a discover check coming from and there's it's very hard to defend the pawn from queening anyway. So in this one possible line would be like, let's say, rook takes, king takes, bishop e5, king h4 check, king f8, and the king Matthiesen. So in this position, Rapport Richard resigned, and now Li Chao leads by half a point. Very interesting play from the Chinese player. I hope you enjoyed this.